It's already November, which means I have less than 2 months left to finish all of the books that I want to read in 2025. So these are the 10 books that I absolutely must get to before the year ends. There are other books that I'd like to get to as well, but if it all comes down to it, if I finish these 10 books, I'll be happy. First, If It Makes You Happy by Julie Olivia. This is such a cozy small town romance, perfect fall read. With it being November, I absolutely want to get to this right away. It follows Michelle and Cliff. She is taking over her mom's bed and breakfast, and he is her next door neighbor. He's a baker, a single dad. I've been seeing so much about this book everywhere. It seems like people are loving it, so definitely want to get to this one. Next, Wool by Hugh Howey. This is the first book in the Silo trilogy. I recently started watching the TV show Silo with my husband on Apple TV. I'm halfway through the first season and realized it's based on a book. Actually, what's said on the back of the book is basically all that's been shown in the TV series so far. So I don't think it's going to spoil my reading experience too much, which is why I want to get to this right away so I can keep watching the TV show too. This is a sci-fi dystopian book. It is about these people who live in an underground silo, and they're told that outside of the silo, the world is not survivable. It's kind of like a mystery trying to figure out whether or not that's true or not, because there's no history in the silo. There was some sort of rebellion where they claim that the rebels erased all of the history, and you're not sure if that's the truth or if something more sinister is going on. A really neat aspect of this book is their one kind of main rule in the silo is that if you say you want to go outside and leave the silo, then your punishment is that you're allowed to do it. And everyone watches on a screen as the people leave, and then they end up dying right in front of them on camera. So I guess the question is what they're seeing the truth, or is it somehow being hidden? And that just raises so many questions. Like, if it's not the truth, why would they let the people leave? I already have so many questions watching the TV show. I feel like in the 4 episodes I've watched so far, every single one of them has not answered questions. It's just added more questions. Next, another sci-fi book, The Martian by Andy Weir. I just finished Project Hail Mary. So good. My favorite book of the year. It's also written by him. They're both sci-fi books. I don't know much about The Martian, but I do know it was his debut novel, and it was a #1 New York Times bestseller. So considering how much I loved Project Hail Mary and also the great ratings and reviews, I just want to go into it blindly. I honestly didn't know much about Project Hail Mary, and I'm so grateful that I didn't, because I feel like I had such a fun time reading it without knowing really anything about what the book was about. So that's exactly how I want to go into The Martian. Another sci-fi book, #4, Morning Star by Pierce Brown. This is the 3rd book in the Red Rising series. This is the conclusion of the original trilogy, and the 2nd book, Golden Sun, left off on such a huge cliffhanger. I have been putting off reading this, and I just can't do it much longer. I need to finish this before the end of the year. It's such a good series. The first 2 books both were 5 stars for me, and I've heard that this one is even better. These are such fast-paced books. There's so much going on. Love the humor in these. If you can't tell, I've been really into sci-fi lately. I think that's my favorite genre. But absolutely want to get to this one. #5, Fearful by Lauren Roberts. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm gonna love this one. This is one that I kind of just want to get over with before the year ends, which I know sounds so sad, but this is the end of the Powerless series. It's a really short novella. I actually loved the other novella in this series, but I pre-ordered this book, got it, and then have just seen really poor reviews about this one. I also didn't love Fearless, particularly Kit in Fearless, and I was kind of hopeful that Fearful would give me some answers, help me like him more, and I just have not seen good things about this book. I think it has a 3.3 on Goodreads, which is pretty low, but it is super short. I think it's only 200 pages, if that, and I just want to finish this series, put it behind me. I really did like the Powerless series for the most part, but I've been putting this one off and I just need to finish it. Otherwise, I'm fearful that I never will. I know, cheesy joke, I had to do it. Number 6, Phantasma by Kaylee Smith. This is a dark book with a competition, deadly games, romance. There is a book club that I'm interested in going to and they are planning on reading this book next. So honestly, I keep mentioning this book and wanting to read it, and I feel like this is the perfect time and motivation to finally read it. Not that I haven't wanted to, it's just there are so many good books. It really is hard to narrow it down, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna read Phantasma in 2025. Number 7, Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. This is her newest release. All of her other books are young adult, the Caraval series and Once Upon a Broken Heart, but this one I believe is her first adult novel. I loved the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. It was 5 stars for me, at least the first 2 were. I didn't love the third one as much, but it was such a great trilogy. I honestly just really like her writing. She writes fantasy, very whimsical. It's really beautiful to read. So I've been wanting to read the Caraval series and I want to read this one also by her, and I'm just trusting that it's gonna be good. This is another one that since it's a new release I've been seeing a lot about. This one is about a woman who believes magic is real. She's taking a folklore class and believes in the legends that she's told, and so she decides to track down one of these legends, which is a man who can tell you when you're going to die. So that's the story that this one follows. Sounds like a very magical read. Conform. This is a dystopian romance. It has a love triangle. This one's also on my November TBR, so I have to get to this. I've been wanting to read it. My mom loved it. It's a very new release. Many reasons that I will be reading this before the year ends. In this society, they're all being monitored by this group, and within that group, one of the guys is going to take a mate. So there are these courting games that our main female character is chosen to take part in. So that's where we get the first love interest, and then the other love interest on the other side of the society is a rebel. So we do have a love triangle, which I love. Anything dystopian sci-fi I'm very into, so excited about this one. Number 9, Fragile Sanctuary by Catherine Cowles. I just read her newest release, Secret Haven, which is the conclusion, the 6th book in that series. They're all interconnected standalones, but I absolutely loved it. It was so unique, such a cool blend of genres. It's romance, but it's also mystery thriller, which I didn't know going into that book that it was going to end up being a murder mystery. That caught me off guard, and then I absolutely loved it and gave the book 5 stars. So I do want to go back at the beginning of the series. The first one's Fragile Sanctuary, so I want to read that this year so that in 2026 I can continue that series if I like that first one as well, which I imagine I will. I have not read something like that where it's a mix of thriller, true crime, and romance, and I just really enjoyed it, and I already like the characters from reading Secret Haven, so very much looking forward to that one. I already have it downloaded on my Kindle, ready to go. Last but not least, Thunderhead by Neil Shusterman. This is the 2nd book in the Arc of a Scythe trilogy. I read Scythe, 5-star book for me, so I want to read the 2nd one, hopefully also the 3rd one before the year ends, but definitely the 2nd one. It's a dystopian society where basically no one can die because they have this AI that has solved all of the world's problems, but because of that they have scythes who glean people, so they end their lives because there's no natural death in their world. So it's a really cool dystopian book. If you're into dystopia, I highly recommend Scythe, but I've been wanting to continue the series for a while, so looking forward to finally doing that before the year ends. So many good books. The goal is to get to all of these before the year ends. So if you want to see me reading these, be sure to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.